Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to talk about a few of the items that I have added to the space in here for the upcoming spring and summer look. And then I also want to put a little bit more emphasis on how easy it is to create a space for a particular season, but one in a way where it speaks more to the people who live in the house. So I'm going to try to highlight a few of these things up close. Each one of the items that I talk about, I do want to try and link them in the description box. If I can't find the exact item, then I'll try to link something similar. These, I will say right off the bat, these are, and I've shared these on here before last year for my, I believe, summer look. These I actually got from Hobby Lobby. So you can always, I'm a huge fan of doing highs and lows. I believe you can create some beautiful spaces where you don't have to break the bank for sure. And I know a lot of you who are into watching these home videos, you probably hear that a lot, but it really is true. You do not have to break the bank. I love this mixture of the pinks and the reds. That's really what I leaned heavily into for my wow factor for this area here. These are actually not pink and red. These are actually fuchsia and like a hot pink. But they almost look like a pink and a red, but they're fuchsia and a hot pink, and they're so beautiful. These I can definitely link for you. So I'm gonna put these to the side here. But these florals here, I talked about these last year, possibly the year before. But these, what I love about these, I think it's great. And I'm going to share this for those who may be, in the very beginning of their journey where they're starting out with their own spaces and sometimes looking at the home decor, looking at the spaces that you have, it seems a little bit overwhelming. Like, oh my gosh, it's hard to figure out. What do I do? How do I make my space pretty? How do I make my space feel like a home versus just a building or a structure? Honestly, I think that's probably one of the first things that is so important to think about when you're getting ready to venture off into your own space, or whether it's renting or purchasing, is looking at it in the idea that it is a home rather than just a building. For me, the building, the structure is the house. It is the four walls that I live within. And the home is the environment, what it feels like, what it looks like, and how it makes me feel when I'm in it. And so that will entail all of the detailed things that you put in the home. So going back to these, when I used to live in San Diego, when we used to live in San Diego years ago, this is where I fell in love with this flower in real life. It's called the bougainvillea, and they were very popular in that San Diego area, and I loved seeing them all around. And so when I thought about it not long ago, finding some in the faux look and bringing them indoors, the moment I found some and I got them and I was able to review them in real time to see what they looked like, I have just really loved these, and I love them so much so you've probably noticed some behind me on the table back there. That is because I just recently bought another bunch of them. They come with 4 stems in the pack, and this, I think I have 2 sets in here, I believe. So I think I have about 8 stems in here. I have to count them for you, and I'll throw it on the video, the exact number that I have in here. But they are beautiful. They have movement. Even the sound of these is very similar to what real life bougainvilleas sound like when they're rustling in the wind. Always have a star of the show, and your star of the show for whatever season you're in, you make it just fantastic. So for this, it's pretty easy. It's a pretty easy star of the show because it is just a bunch of stems put down into the vase. And then I highlighted them by adding this small bouquet of florals here. And the combination of the colors here, I think, is absolutely amazing. The next set that I want to show you would be these beauties. Now, I am also a huge fan of cherry blossoms, and I think a lot of us are huge fans of cherry blossoms. I have another set of cherry blossoms that I shared on the first spring look in that first video, which is the lighter pink color. These are some recent ones that I got, and they're a little bit different from those. I actually got those from Joann Fabric. These I got from Amazon. I will link the exact ones that I have in the description box, but you can see they have a bunch of little clusters on the end, and they are just so pretty. I really love the look of the stems here. So even though it is a faux flower, even though it does look faux, I really love the makeup of this one. I think it looks amazing. So um, in if I had to give a piece of advice to my younger self or any other young lady out there who is looking to really dive into putting some effort, some additional effort into the home that they live in, whether it's a little box, whether it's a big house, big space, medium size, whatever it is, you are ready to really dive into the details of making that space feel like you and speak to your soul. This is for you. I try to definitely pull in things that I have a love for in real life when it comes to my faux florals. I would have all real florals throughout my house, but there are some areas that don't take well to florals. And sometimes, depending on the way you have your house set up, you don't have a space where you can actually put a floral so it'll receive the proper amount of light. And so it may not thrive there. But this tree that you see back here, this is, I call her Stella. I've mentioned her before in some of my videos, but she is one of my faves. She is real. And so she is my live greenery that I have in here. And then I have her complemented with a bunch of florals for this season. Like I said, these are cherry blossoms. I love cherry blossoms. I first came to know about cherry blossoms in the late 90s when I lived in Japan. They had cherry blossom festivals, and that was the first that I had really heard of them. Now, people who live in the DC area or areas where they have a lot of cherry blossoms in the US, they probably known about these for a long time. For me, it was in the late 90s, and I realized how much I love them. And I know that I really like them because I have not stopped liking them. You know, you can come across some things where it's like, oh, they're a moment, but then after a little while, it's like, they were the moment, they're no longer the moment. Cherry blossoms will always be a moment for me. Bougainvilleas will always be a moment for me. So whenever my spring looks are getting ready to um, get put together, these are two faux florals that I'm definitely going to be adding. So these are beautiful, and I'm going to link the exact ones in the description box. Tip number one. Okay, and that's coffee, so it's not really helping. It's not going to help the situation. I should have had some water here. But try to add faux florals that are a great example of a real life floral that you love. And when you pick your faux florals, if you can, you try to find some that closely resemble a real life look versus ones that look extremely faux. I'm going to put this off to the side here. So what we've kind of chatted about were the faux florals that I've bought into the space. I have another grouping back there, which I'll share up close. That one, I tucked down some yellow bunches, just two of them, into the vase with this other set of um, bougainvilleas. And it gave me an additional vibrance that I was looking for. So I was thinking something along the lines of Mediterranean, Caribbean. I wanted a punch. And just tucking two little bunches of yellow, like really strong yellow faux florals down into that vase with that set of bougainvilleas, it was like, great. Very simple, very easy, doesn't require a whole lot, and it gives your space a sense of vibrancy and definitely makes it feel a little bit more lively. So that's what I've done in regards to my faux florals that I've bought in. Now, we're going to talk really quick about pillow covers. I always touch on pillow covers. I'm just doing it in a little bit of a different way because I want to show you a couple of combinations that I've gone with. And I think, honestly, the biggest thing, if you go with combos, it's almost like a no lose situation. So, with my combo that I'm using in this space, we have pinks. So, you saw in my previous video, if you watched that, I went with the lighter pinks, and I love doing that. In one of my spaces, I like to go a little bit lighter than the other. And so in this area, I wanted to go darker because in my mind, I'm seeing it as you're going from light to dark. I truly am an ombre lover. And that's kind of what I have in mind when I do that. So back here, I went with a little bit of a color, a little bit more vibrancy when it comes to the color. So I bought in my wine colored pillow cover. Yes, people use this for fall and winter as well, I think, but I wanted to use them for summer. I'm going to leave this look up between both spring and summer. So this is why I went a little bit stronger with my colors. And late summer, you have the really strong summer colors. And so that's kind of what I wanted to go with. You can go with whatever color is going to feed your soul, feed your creativity, whatever's going to give you some energy. And you don't have to stick to the pastel palette. I have a pastel palette. I wanted something that gave me a little bit more oomph. So we have this pillow cover here, which is the wine. And then we have a lighter pillow cover here. Now, mind you, all of these are somewhat of a velvet texture, which I'm a fan of that. See the movement in that? Look at that. Can you hear it? I love that. But so we have this color, and then let's see if I can do this and not have that fall over. And then I still have my brown pillow covers that I've had in here. I almost keep these in year round. I just switch up the accent pillow covers that I use with it. But so these are the three colors, and this is what's on the couch on both ends. Yes, this is kind of like a dusty rose color. People use this in fall as well, but I'm using it for spring, summer. And so this is like my base neutral color here. But this is one of my color combos that I'm using in here. Now I'm going to bring this pillow cover over here because my other area that I already shared with you in a previous video with the lighter color palette, this is one of the pillows in that color palette. And then this is another one of the pillows. So this is a jam color in my hand here. And then you have the pillow with all of the really pretty petals in there. Just downright beautiful, I think. And this is one of those pillow covers that can be a little bit tricky because it can give off a very grandmama-ish vibe if it is not done right. And I know because I used it before and it gave off that vibe to me. And this time around, the way that I have it situated in this space, it looks much better than that. So pillow cover combos, very important. Now, for this area in here, coming back to that, we have this pink and brown combo, but then I also added in the green, okay? And so this is the color palette that I'm going with for, I'm gonna say this summer. And then here's another green pillow. And you notice the greens, this one, I'm going to link this pillow cover as well for you. This one is, now this is very thick like. It's a very thick like material on the front, and then it's a velvet like material on the back. So you can use it two different ways. I mostly like pillow covers that are the same all the way around on front and back, but I do sometimes really enjoy the pillow covers that give me multiple options like this one. So this one can easily be used as a winter pillow cover as well. Like I've shared many times before, you can get things that can be multifunctional when it comes to the seasons that you're going to use them in. So would people always use this in a spring look? Probably not, because it's very thick. The texture is very heavy, but I am a person who loves velvet, and I don't believe in sticking to rules all the time. I believe in doing what feels good to me. So if you're, starting out on this journey, or if you're somebody who's been on the journey of putting together, your spaces or trying to get into doing that, no matter where you are in the game of owning, renting, being out on your own, that is one of the things that I like to share. Forget about rules when it comes to certain things because it doesn't matter. What matters most is what feels good to you and what feels good to the other people that live in the house with you. So I'm going to put all of these pillow covers, the link to them. This one, the lighter one here, which is the Dusty Rose, this one, and this one in the description box for you. And then I'll also put the jam color in the description box for you as well. But I truly love what it feels like in here. Now, I also got for this table here, this placemat. This is a beautiful placemat. It comes in a set of 6. It is faux leather. Um, I had gone on to look for some that definitely gave me the luxe look, but would be incredibly affordable. And these did it. So they came in a couple of different colors. They came in red. I actually think red is a great summer color as well. If you like red, I do think red is a good summer color. And you could pair it with something like a hot pink or a fuchsia. And I think it would be so fun. But I've gone with whites, greens, pinks, and the pinks, I have them in more of like the fuchsia tone, and then I have a little bit of red sprinkled in here and there. But going back to these placemats, amazing placemats. They come as a set of 6. They're very soft like, and the thing that I want to share when it comes to placemats is I really like them. I'm going to have them out on my table almost always. And the reason being is because I don't like the idea of my plates hitting the wood table and scratching it, especially the stone plates that I have. So some people may say, you know, they may like the whole minimalistic look on a table and not have placemats out all the time. I myself like to have placemats out because they already need to be sitting here when people come sit down to eat. I'm not anal when it comes to them, but I think they definitely help out with the plates, not scratching the table. And at the same time, they give you some visual interest and they add a little bit of fun and color to whatever space, whatever table setting you're going to be working with. Okay, now you'll also notice behind me there's some pink glowing like lights in that divot, that little opening back there. That would be these lights here. These are some awesome lights that we have been using for a while. I have come to love them. I actually kind of gave some pushback to my husband on them because he loves lights. He likes all the different colors, but he kind of likes the funky colors. And I'm like, that's a little bit too much for my space. He started using them in the room where they would play the video games, and these lights would just help really set the scene. They would make you feel like you are just immersed in whatever it is that you're playing. And then he had them where they also were coordinating with whatever movie we were watching. So when all of the rest of the lights were down low, these lights were just changing with the scenes, and it feels great. So he ended up putting them around the television here, and I love them because they actually add to whatever vibe that I'm going for whatever seasonal look I'm bringing in. And so anytime I share a little video clip, like on my Instagram channel, and you can see a color there, that's more than likely what the color is that I'm going to be going for whatever season it is. So great lights. He just wrapped the back of the TV with them. I'll show you what they look like up close. But then he also wrapped the back of our console with them as well. So we have the light on the bottom and then the light on the top. And the great fun thing about it, these are Bluetooth, so they connect to your phone, your iPad, and you can change the lights however you want to change them. We've had them for a short period of time where the lights around the television are one color, the lights around the console are another color. You can make them complement one another, or you can go with the lights the same color around both. And I cannot tell you how much I like them. And the reason why I have this pack in my hand is because we are getting ready to add them into another space. And once they get added, I am definitely going to be sharing that. So they are just a row of lights that you are going to put on the back of whatever space you're going to use them in. They come with a cord here for plugging up. Um, and that's it. So I'll add these in the description box as well for anybody who may be interested in getting these lights, but they are phenomenal. I 1000% love them, and I would recommend them to anybody who gets a kick out of colorful lights. All right, you guys. So coming over to this side to finish things up here, You'll see the swivel chairs that I moved from the other space to this room. And you'll also notice that they're no longer brown. And that is because I took the chair covers off of these and went back to their original olive green color, which I was so happy to find the curtains the exact same shade. And the curtains are velvet and these are velvet. They almost look like they were purchased from the same company and together, and of course they were not. So I am going to link the velvet curtains in the description box as well because I do really love them. They are a amazing color which could be used for spring, summer, winter, and fall. We're going to chat a little bit about these curtains here. These are velvet curtains. Yes, velvet can be considered quite heavy in the spring and the summertime, but I myself love velvet and I cannot stress this enough. There are some rules that I just am okay with not playing by, and texture is one of them. I'm a heavy lover of texture, so having these velvet curtains is just this is a no-brainer for me. If I find some in color that I think look amazing, more than likely they're what I'm going to go with. Every now and again, I deviate from that. But one of the things that I have found that I do really love is having velvet material in my house. So these are olive green in color. But one of the things, one of my tricks, and this is one of the things that I kind of want to emphasize here, one of the tricks that I do like to make sure that I do is between both spaces, which would be my kitchen area, all the way back to the living area here. I like to line this entire space with the same style of curtains, same color of curtains, because not only does it elongate the space, but it is one of the easiest ways to make both areas cohesive with one another. Now, if you want to break up the spaces and do something different and have a completely different look and have the spaces sectioned off, you can do a different set of curtains in both spaces. But I really like having unison in my curtains from one end all the way down to the other. So oftentimes when you see this area in here, that is one of the things that you are going to see because I like the idea of a long, cohesive looking space. And when I say cohesive, you can be cohesive and have different colors of curtains, but I like it when it is uniform with the color all the way down. Not to mention, this color green is one of my favorite color greens. So, overall, that is what I have done in here for my spring and summer look. I just went over some of the main things that I made changes within here, and I am very happy with all of it. It truly does. I said this on my Instagram post. Um, about a week ago, and it truly does feel like that. It feels like a warm hug. Yes, we are in spring, coming into spring, and gonna be rolling into summer with this look, but it feels like a warm hug. But the vibrancy and the fluffiness of the florals definitely are a great nod to that spring and that summer look. When I wake up and I enter a certain space in my home, there's a feel that I get from it, and it just feels amazing. I've always said I wanted myself and my family to love home so much. I wanted to create spaces in our home that we enjoy being in so much that we don't feel like we need to leave home. We don't feel like we have to just go travel to get that feel. It's one thing to have a space and a beautiful structure, sprawling staircases, incredibly high ceilings, the pool, the whole nine. It's one thing to have all that, but it's another thing to have that space decorated and styled in a way that gives you a feeling of a beautiful home away from home, but it's still home at the same time. So, again, if you are someone who is just beginning your journey of creating spaces that are going to feed your soul and give you energy and feed your creativity. If you're just beginning that journey, I hope that you have found some inspo here. If you're somebody who's been doing that for a while, if you've been looking at the idea of creating spaces that do that for you for a while now, but you've just been a little bit overwhelmed with which direction to go. I hope that you found some inspo in this as well. And then if you know someone who is struggling with the idea of putting together a space, that could definitely speak to them, I hope that you would share this video with them. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe if you found this to be an enjoyable video, and then also share so that others may find me here in the community. That's all. Bye now.